Hello, and welcome to week 2 of Victorious Yoga. Week 1, we practice on body awareness, and this week we're going to practice on regulation. So, with last week, we explored posture and breath for informed body awareness. Today, we'll build on that by noticing how activation feels in the body and practicing ways to create steadiness. And again, we're going to start with our posture and coming into neutral pose. Because whenever we take a break or we need to sit something out, you want to go right back to neutral pose, allowing your body to feel safe in the moment. Because everything here is optional. This is not about flexibility. This is not about who can do it the best. This is about honoring where your body is at the present moment, and being here grounded in the present moment. So if at any point in time something doesn't feel right, or you don't want to close your eyes, anything like that, just remember that it is all optional and you just want to come back into neutral position whenever you don't feel comfortable. Respecting your body is the number one thing we're going for here. We're going to start by getting back into our posture using chair again so that it fits everybody's needs and where they're at. We're going to slide forward to the edge of our chair, plant our feet about hip width apart, and gently ground them by pressing into our back heels lightly. Then you want to make sure that your knees are stacked over your ankles, bringing your legs to a 90-degree angle. Everybody has a different body, different shape, so do the best that you can and what feels comfortable and right for you without pushing your limits here. With that, come back and notice your sit bones. You want to make sure you're centered so you can rock back and forth until you feel like you're centered, allowing your spine to elongate naturally. And then from here, we tend to either have a posture where we're like this or like way back like this. We want to make sure that we're still just in this nice elongated shape by rolling our shoulders back and down. You might tuck your chin just slightly if you feel it raised or anything like that. And then this opens our airway, signaling to the body that we are safe and aligned in the moment and we have control over ourselves. And then you can bring your hands to the top of your thighs. And from here, whenever you need to, this will be returning to neutral position. We're going to start with this week's breath work. That is coherent breath work, which is a balanced breathing technique to regulate our heartbeat. We're going to go for a 5-second inhale and then a 5-second exhale. If at any point in time you realize that your lung capacity can't do 5, shorten it to 4. It's honoring where you are at in the present moment without making yourself panic. I'm going to grab my phone for a time. And then we're going to start, again, making sure we're in alignment. And then inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. And just take a few moments here to focus on your breathing in and out, doing the counting. And if you lose track at any point in time, just start over and recenter yourself. So again, inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. And on your own for a few minutes. Sometimes sitting in the quiet is the hardest part. That's part of learning to be comfortable in the uncomfortable. If you notice at any point in time that you start losing the posture while you're breathing, like you start to slump forward, back, maybe your shoulders are too far raised, just take a moment to realign and then come back to your breath. About another minute here. As you're doing this, you can notice how your body might already feel different from when we started to now. This is grounding yourself in the present moment. We'll do a few more breaths together. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. And great job. We're going to come back. Just take a moment to pause here. Notice how you feel. Notice if your body changed at any point in time and you have to realign. If your breath feels easier or harder. If your heart rate feels like it increased or if it actually steadied out. And if you're comfortable sharing in the comments below, please do. I love feedback to know how this is helping or not helping. Next, we're going to move into our asana movement. We started with cat-cow last time. We're going to continue that. And if you recall, we inhale on cow by arching our back and pushing our chest forward on the inhale. And then exhale, take a breath out as your spine curls, allowing you to come forward and making a little hunch in your back as you exhale. And then coming back up on the inhale, arching back, and then exhale again into cat. Keep doing this slowly. The slower you go, the more in control your body actually feels. And do your best to match what breath pace fits you. I'm going to show it from the side for anybody who didn't watch last week's. Inhale. Exhale. Stay here for a few moments, just allowing our spine to create circulation for the rest of our practice. When we do this, it's not about moving through a checklist or anything. It's about coming into the moment and allowing it to be at a pace that allows your body to feel safe and comfortable and grounded. Do about 2 more and then we'll move into our next position after returning to neutral pose. You might notice your shoulders coming up here. You can roll them back and relax them down. This is our last one. When you finish, come back to neutral position. Take a moment to just breathe here. Notice if your neck is starting to go back or if you're slouching into your chin. Realign. Our next move is going to be a pelvic tilt. So what you're going to do is on the inhale, you'll slightly tilt your pelvis forward. You'll notice your chest kind of raises with that. It's not a big movement because we're lifting from here, so you'll kind of feel it in your lower back. And then on the exhale, you'll kind of just go back to your neutral position when you do this. And we'll do this for about 3 minutes. So on the inhale, slight tilt of the pelvis forward. We're still on the edge of the chair. If you need to hold the sides, go for it. And then exhale, we go back into a neutral sitting. So it feels almost similar to when you do the inhale for cow, but we're not trying to arch way up. We're just doing a little pelvic forward. And then on the exhale, back to neutral. Slow and steady wins the race type of thing. Now, if you can do the full 3 minutes, that's great. But if you start getting tired at any point in time, honor where you're at and allow your body to go back to neutral position and focus on your breath work again, doing 5-5, inhale, out, exhale, or maybe if you were only able to do 4, focus on that. This is about keeping your heartbeat in a nice steady rhythm along with your breath work. Notice if your body collapses at any point in time when you're doing this. And just see how you can realign in that. We've already done 2 minutes, so we just want to go through the last one. So if you stopped for a bit, you can join in again. Just because you needed a break doesn't mean you have to give up completely. We can always just pick up where we left off. This helps us to notice where our spine is currently, whether this feels easy or hard, whether this feels calming or stressful. All of those are signals from your body telling you what feels safe and comfortable, what feels grounded for you. Because again, remembering that we're not competing, we're all in different places, is a healthy reminder to ourselves. All right, so with that, we'll come back to neutral pose. Take a moment to allow your body to adjust, to see if that lower back maybe is sending some twinge signals, breathing into that and allowing it to relax. With that, we're going to move into seated march, which is just gently lifting your leg. Inhale and then exhale through each motion. So inhale on the lift, exhale as you lower. You shouldn't come up too high, but come up as far as feels comfortable for you. It might just be a small movement for some of you. For others, you might notice, oh, this goes higher. Even notice if one of your legs has an easier mobility in the moment than the other, because that's body awareness comes back into play here in this practice as well. Allowing yourself to see where you feel stiff, what part of you is overworked, maybe needs some more care. We're just slowly marching in place. You might notice that your shoulders start coming up, like from doing this. What you want to do is just take a moment, roll your shoulders back, come back into the present moment, and then continue. Maybe your head is tilting back. Bring your chin, tuck it down just a little. We're going to do this for about another 30 seconds. Keep hanging in there. You're doing great. Acknowledging that is half the battle. As you even out the leg that you started with versus the leg that you finish with, we'll come back into neutral pose. Take a moment to breathe here and notice if anything changed. If at any point in time you want to comment down below about what changed, take the time to do so. Feedback is always important. So our next focus is going to be on our ankles. And I'm going to turn to the side so that you guys can see better with the footwork that we're going to do here. We're going to lift and then flex your foot towards you, and then point your toe out and go in a gentle circle. First one way. Notice if you start to collapse in posture here. And then go the other way. Do this one more time the opposite way. And then again, switching up the direction before bringing your leg gently back down. We're never rushing it. Lift your other leg up, flex it towards you, and then point away. And start your circle here. A few circles one way, a few circles the other. Bring it back going the original way a few times. And then once more, the opposite way. And gently bring your foot back to the ground, bringing yourself into neutral alignment. You're doing great so far. Take a moment to just breathe here in case lifting felt like a little too much. So we're going to repeat some of our moves from our last practice. This one's the seated side stretch. So you can have your hands here. If it feels comfortable to bring your hand to the left side, or sorry, your left hand to the left side of the chair, do so. And what you're going to do, roll your shoulders back before you start so that you make sure you're in that lower shoulder position. Bring your hand out and then bring it up to your head gently. We're going to allow the stretch there and then bend a little into it. So your right hand's on top of your head, gently not pushing down. We're just kind of using it to hold our hand. Notice your alignment, and if you want a little more, that left hand, if you feel stable, can come out and push against what feels like an invisible wall. We're not cranking anything. We're not trying to elongate as far as we can. This is more of just honoring the stretch where you're at. And when you're ready, you can bring your left hand back down to the chair. So bring your right hand up as you lift your head. And bring your right hand back to the side or your hands to your thighs. And then we're going to switch to the other side. If you had your right or your left hand on the chair, you're going to use your right hand now. And then bring your left hand up and over to your right ear as it rests gently. And then push your out. And feel the muscles kind of pulling on this side as this side arches in a little. Notice if your shoulders collapse forward, you want to roll them back, keep that alignment. Here. Or bringing your right hand back down to the chair. You're going to lift your left hand, allowing your head to come back up, your hand to come back to the chair, or if you want, back to your thighs. Take a moment to take a few breaths here. And then from here, we're going to go into our supported twist. When we do this, we're actually going to focus on the coherent breath work that we did earlier in the class. So you're going to, when you bring your left hand back, we'll start this way. You'll bring your right hand here. Take 5 breaths in. And then at the top, twist. On the exhale for 5 breaths. Don't crank it. We're just gently allowing our body to twist to the side for 5 breaths. And then release back to forward as you inhale. Still holding that side pose because we're going to twist back into it 2 more times. And then on the exhale, 5 breaths during your twist. Tension back forward. Still holding the side. Taking our 5 breaths here before exhaling. 5 breaths into our last twist. You might notice your shoulders getting tight. We just breathe into that as we notice that alignment. Now we're going to release as we twist back forward. Take 5 breaths here. On the inhale and exhale. You should be coming up to your last breath. This time we're going to bring our right hand to the back of the chair, our left hand over to the side. On the inhale, notice your posture. And then on the exhale, we'll twist into that, like looking gently back over our shoulder without cranking. And then come back in the release, still holding the side. And then on the exhale, twist again gently for 5 seconds. If you were doing 4, or maybe even 3, do what works for you. And then come back forward one last time on the inhale, and then on the exhale, allow your body to gently twist into that. Notice any spots that might feel tight, if it feels different on this side than it did on the other side. And then release back to center. We'll take 5 more breaths again. You're doing a great job. Reminding your body of that is just as important as hearing it from somebody else. You should be coming up to your last breath here. For our next move, we have 2 options, depending on what feels safe and comfortable for your body. The first one, if you're capable of it, is going to be a figure 4. So I'm going to lift my left leg, and I'm going to bring my ankle to rest up on my knee. And then we're just going to breathe here for 5 breaths again. In that 5 inhales in, 5 exhales out. Now, if that's uncomfortable for you, you're going to do a leg extension, allowing your leg to push out forward while you hold that for the 5 breaths. So if that's more comfortable for your body because your hips scream when you come up here, honor where you're at. There is no judgment. There's no one you're competing against except yourself. And in that, it's just the competition is knowing if you can be present in the moment. Can you relax into this? Can you honor what feels right for you? As we finish this, we're going to bring our leg back down, uncrossing it if you are in figure 4, lowering it if you had it extended. Even if you just had it extended and it still stayed on the ground, that's not a failure. That's just knowing your body's limits. Take a couple breaths here before we go to the next side. And then, depending on where you were, if you were an extended leg, push your leg back out wherever it feels comfortable. If you can hold it for the 5 breaths of 5 inhales and 5 exhales. If you were in the figure 4, come back up. Remember to check your alignment when you're doing this. Sometimes it's easy for the leg to start going sideways or in. Maybe you're sitting back further than you should. Your shoulders are slouching. Just take a moment to realign and come back into that neutral pose. And then focus on your breath. If you're like me and you have bony ankles, maybe you shift so that it's more comfortable, either just a tiny bit so that your ankle rests on the other side, or maybe just letting your foot rest there. Knowing what feels comfortable for you. We're not trying to give ourselves any ankle bruises on our legs or anything like that. You're doing a great job. You should be coming to your last breath. And without doing any fast relief, maybe you have to hold the side of the chair. You can bring your leg back down or back in. Readjust your alignment into neutral pose. We're going to hold this for a second before we go into our next move. Taking calm, easy breaths. Noticing that at any point in time our heart rate started to feel accelerated. So here you want to make sure your alignment is, again, ankles stacked over the knees. We're going to have our hands on our thighs because we're going to move into our supported forward fold. So you're going to want to be on your forearms for this. As we gently come forward, don't let your body collapse. You're going to hinge at the hips, supporting your body, using your forearms here to hold you as you fold forward. If you feel comfortable, you can slide your hands down and put them on either side of your feet to support you. If this is what's comfortable for you, stay here. And then what you want to do while you're holding this pose, pretend like you're looking in a pond and watching fish just calmly swim around. Maybe seeing one of them touch near the surface and the water rippling. Giving your mind just something to focus on as you do this. If that's not comfortable, focus on your breath. Coming in, going out. See if your neck is cranked or not supported. You want to support your neck. Make sure your shoulders don't go up. You want to keep them nice and supported. Even if you're here, make sure they're not down too far. You want to keep them kind of even, allowing your body to relax into this. We're going to hold this for one more minute before we come back up. You might notice your leg muscles feel a little tight. If it's hard to hold on the edge of the seat, you might even just slide your body back just a little so you're more supported by the chair. There's nothing wrong in knowing your limits. If at any point in time you feel dizzy or lightheaded, honor that and sit up. Now, if your hands are down here, gently walk them back up. Bring them back up to your thighs. As we lift, remember we're keeping the spine straight, using our hips and our spine to help pull us back up. When you're back up here, if you move back to in the seat, move back to the edge. And then our last asana pose for our movement is going to be for shoulder strength. We're going to bring our hands up and out to the side, and we're going to hold them out. Focus on your breath as you do this. Notice if your shoulders start to crank up, you want to bring them back down. Breathe into this. If you get tired at any point in time, maybe just lower them a little. Bringing them all the way up here isn't feasible for some people. You want to honor if you can only bring them up this high. This is still building that same strength, but honoring where your body's at in it. Even if you're struggling here, maybe you want to bring your arms, your upper arms in just a little bit as you hold out your forearms, trying to hold that steady line. If you can hold up here, great. Try not to lock your shoulder muscles though. Keep the elbows bent. This allows the circulation to feel a new type of flow while also keeping your body safe from locking it, because otherwise will actually cause more tension in the body. And that counteracts what we're trying to achieve here. You might feel your arms get heavy, or maybe you started up here. You might start to feel them come down. That's okay as long as you can still focus on your breathing here. We're actually going to try and hold this for 1 more minute. So if you're able to do this, you are doing an amazing job. And if you had to come back down and put yourself in neutral position here, you are still doing an amazing job because you are noticing where your body feels most comfortable. You're not pushing yourself, you're staying and honoring who you are and where your body's at. About 20 more seconds. Hang in there if you're still there. Push yourself a little. Notice if your alignment came out of whack at any point in time, you can readjust. Maybe rolling the shoulders back. And then we're gently lowering our arms. We are not moving fast out of this. Sit and allow your body to see if it feels different. Maybe bring your hands back to rest on your thighs. How your breath feels, how your alignment feels. If some place in your body feels more stiff than when we started, how you feel different from the start of practice to now in this moment. You can comment down below, noticing as you comment, maybe your progress throughout. Maybe you might want to gently rotate your neck, letting out any stiffness. You can kind of give yourself a nice little loose wiggle if that feels good. If your heart rate feels elevated, come back into your chest where your breathing has maybe accelerated along with it, or gotten shallow, and just regulate it again. We're going to return to the balanced breathing for 3 breaths. We're going to do it together. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just pausing here in a moment with that breath. We're going to finish today's practice with a longer meditation. A lot of the times when we go into meditation, we haven't done this grounding into the moment, and so it's very hard to focus on meditation when that is the case. However, when you've actually allowed your body to come and be in the moment, focusing on your breath first, noticing the differences, it makes it easier for you to then go into the practice and actually be able to focus and notice if you drift and come back, or if you're getting restless, maybe why you're getting restless. During this time, pick a sound that works for you. Maybe it's your breathing, maybe it's a bird chirping outside the window, or if you're in a city, maybe you hear like a construction sound. Maybe that sound normally annoys you. Take a moment to just focus on it and allow it to just be, because that's life going on around you as you sit and allow your body to relax and be present. So with that, we're going to go into a 10-minute meditation. If you want to put on soothing spa music, maybe you can pause here. If you want to take a moment to pause and write in the comments. And then with that, we're just going to go into our inner selves for 10 minutes. And this allows us kind of a rest that we normally don't get. It's different from sleep. It's different from sitting and watching TV. This is an actual relaxation of the body. We're going to start now. If you want to keep your eyes open, you're more than welcome. Maybe you want to gently close them. Or maybe you even want to go back to that image of looking in a pond and watching fish swim around as you stare at the floor. Maybe you have ADHD and this is hard for you to sit still. If that's the case, gently lift your big toe on one side and put it down, and then focus on the other big toe on the other side and put it down, going back and forth. And this can help keep you in the moment. It gives your body a movement to focus on if it's not used to holding still. If it feels safe to close your eyes all the way. Maybe where you are just feels really silent. If that's the case, notice if you start feeling uncomfortable in that silence. Honestly, being uncomfortable is not a good thing. It's a sign of growth. If thoughts do come into your mind, picture yourself as being the mountain, and the thoughts are just clouds floating by. You can hear them, they can be there as they float, but you don't have to latch onto them. You can just observe and see what your mind is actually trying to tell you. You might notice that you've come out of alignment at any point in time. You can roll your shoulders back, maybe rock back and forth on your sits bones until you center again, or tuck your chin. All these are normal parts of meditation that are just teaching you more about yourself. There's only one thing in life we start with and finish with in this lifetime, and that's our body. Knowing that helps you want to be more present for it. Acknowledging that. Sometimes you need to know how far you are in the practice to let your mind relax. So you're already halfway through the 10-minute mark. You've already done 5 minutes. You're still here showing up for yourself, grounding into the moment, and that's amazing. Acknowledging that in the moment is amazing. Check on your alignment. See if you're still at where you were when you started. We only have 3 more minutes to go before we leave the silence. And if you're making it this far, that's absolutely incredible. You should feel proud of yourself. Sitting in this pose and holding it, if you're able to, you're building strength along your back, helping your spine, your neck. If it feels tight in any of those spots, focus on them and breathe into them and allow them to relax in the moment. After you finish this practice, you might want to journal about how you felt, what came up, how you feel about what came up. We're going to start by wiggling our toes, moving our legs side to side, swaying gently, coming back into the moment. If your eyes were closed, you can start to open them. If you were doing any of the swaying, you can start to come still to stillness. Maybe you want to sit back in the chair. Maybe you want to still hold this. Take a moment to acknowledge how you felt at the start of practice versus how you feel now, and what you think helped the most or didn't help at all, what felt hard, what felt easy, how your heartbeat feels now that we've taken the time to acknowledge it and regulate it. Comment down below any feelings or thoughts you're comfortable sharing. And then this was week 2, our practice on regulation. And I thank you for joining me. I hope you come back again.